The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002, 442-7002.
And welcome to the K-Files with JP and myself this morning. Hope everybody's doing good. We have some hot nails to talk about today, a couple we're going to talk about, and then we'll have some cases, and we'll talk to you a little bit about how this works. I had somebody tell me this week, I don't understand where you get the money from. How do you pay out? I hear you saying you pay out, and I say, well, I told her, I said, we try to get the word out about how, our little organization, how we raise money and things like that. We try to say that, so I'm sorry if we don't say it enough. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that during the show today. So anyway, JP has an announcement from the Nash County Sheriff's Office. I'm very proud of this. We have done this before, and I want to get this dog in here on the air.
And first and foremost, we extend our thoughts and prayers to the people in Texas that have suffered. Oh my God, I cannot imagine having a child that was at camp and they're never coming home.
No, I've thought about it so many times. And did you know that Laura Bush was a camp counselor there?
No, I did not.
Yes, for many years. And Jenna said that her kids, Jenna's the one that put it out, and she said my mom was a counselor for many years, and she said now my kids go there, but they weren't there. They weren't there, but she said my kids go to that camp because they're from Texas. So anyway, there you go.
So again, this is a post from the Nash County Sheriff's Office. It's directly from their Facebook page. As the death toll rises and countless people still unaccounted for in Texas, Deputy Thorpe and K9 Fiji of the Nash County Sheriff's Office have just been requested to respond to the impacted areas. LabCorp has graciously donated the transportation from North Carolina to Texas, and to this we are so grateful.
There you go. You can see their plane.
And shout out to LabCorp. That's Cadillac, that's first class.
That is so nice of them to do that.
Sheriff Stone and the Nash County Sheriff's Office are very proud of the work that Deputy Thorpe and K9 Fiji do and their ability to bring closure to families that are impacted by devastating circumstances. This is yet another example of how Nash County is willing to go anywhere we are needed to assist in someone's darkest moments. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Texas and all the first responders assisting them.
Certainly so. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families, the officers, the search crews, all of them, EMS, all of the crews down there that are working so diligently to find the bodies and notify the families. And imagine, I just wouldn't
because these first responders, they're going to be seeing a lot of things that they're going to live with and struggle with the rest of their life.
They really are, and it's just so devastating. It's just so devastating. Water has become scary.
And conspiracies. What the girl that's in the House of Representatives, Green.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of
Marjorie.
her name. That's it.
Taylor Greene.
She introduced legislation to get the government to stop flying planes into these storms and spraying whatever they're spraying, kind of experimenting or messing with the weather. And it makes you wonder, and I'm not saying this is man-made, but it makes you wonder, was it?
Yeah, it does. I mean,
just like in western North Carolina, I mean, I've never seen anything like that, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, it is. We're having this too much. It's too much, and it's scary. And I said the other day, it's kind of eerie to me. These things keep happening in the middle of the night. Floyd, it was night. Woke up. I was not affected, but I didn't even know out there that overnight while we slept, it was just rain, 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 rain. And same thing in Texas, 4 in the morning.
And they said that happened in like an hour to 45 minutes. I mean, that's a lot of rain falling.
And of course the Democrats are saying
it's Trump's fault.
Trump is, he defunded the National Weather Service. Oh, please, come on. So anyway, but the people down there, thank goodness, come up and said, no, we were notified at various times. In the middle of the night, we were notified. So enough of that. But anyway, these storms are getting too close together. This devastation is just a lot. It is just a lot. And I don't know. I don't know if I have a theory or what. I just don't know. But anyway, it's hard to take when this many children and bodies, it's just too much. It really is. And did you see where 2 sisters were holding hands when they found them? Mm-hmm. They were holding hands.
2 holding hands.
And it showed a group picture of their family and precious little girls. So anyway, we appreciate Sheriff Stone being so diligent to send people whenever he's needed, whenever our folks are needed. And you can bet on one thing. If our area is devastated in any way and we need help, Keith Stone can get them here.
That's right.
He can get them here. There's no doubt. We can get whoever we want because he has worked with other people, other areas of law enforcement to assist in so many different situations. I mean, they went to the mountains.
Relationships matter.
Yes, absolutely. Really does. So anyway, I guess we'll get started, but I do want to explain, we have a 401c3, a nonprofit organization, Team Cold Case. We raise money so that we're able to pay out for tips. That's what we do. So we're self-sufficient, but we do raise money, and we pay cash within a couple of days. If you give a tip and it turns out to be an arrest, and law enforcement kind of grades the tip to see how valuable the tip was, which they say every tip is valuable, but they determine how much money we give out, and we have up to $15,000 in the pot right now. And anytime you would like to make a donation, you certainly can. It will go in the Team Cold Case account, and you will be helping solve crimes in your area. So if you want to give donations, certainly you can do that. If you want to call me, 908-7175. I might as well give my cell phone because when we were camping out, everybody got it. So anyway, you can call me, and we'll be glad to take the donations for Team Cold Case. There's a hotline number for tips, 406-6736. That's the hotline number. Crime Stoppers, we also use 977-1111. or whatever agency is involved in the particular case that you're calling about. You can always call that law enforcement agency, whether it be Tarboro, Edgecombe County, Nash County, Halifax County, Wilson County, whatever. We normally have cases in those four: Wilson, Halifax, Nash, and Edgecombe. Normally have cases in those four counties is what we kind of focus on. So anyway, we do have a book. If you'd like one, you can stop by the station. Several people have told me they read through this book and it's very interesting. So we do appreciate your interest. Not many weeks go by that somebody don't stop me about this program. So I appreciate it. And they also say they appreciate what we do. They're always appreciative that we're trying with the public to solve crimes. And we say this all the time. You're the most valuable resource that law enforcement has, because you know something that they don't know or can't find out. So we hope you will, and it's anonymous. It is anonymous. So every person that's been paid out, and we have paid out, I don't know who the informant is. I don't know who the tipster is. We don't know. We don't want to know. You'll work with law enforcement, and they will be the ones to, we give them cash, and they will be the ones to work with you and give you your money within 48 hours. Some cash would be nice, wouldn't it? So anyway, that's kind of how it works. And I appreciate the lady stopping me this week and talking to me about her interest in it, and she just wanted some details. So anyway,
I do want to send out another shout out or thoughts and prayers. Please keep Senator Lisa Barnes' husband, Johnny Barnes, in your thoughts and prayers. You know, he's kind of been sick,
yes,
kind of been
he
under the weather,
has.
and just keep that family in your prayers.
Certainly so.
So Johnny, just know we're thinking about you, and prayers your way.
Yes, really good folks.
And they've been good to Nash County. The
Yes,
whole family has.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we might as well go ahead and take our first break. It is time, so we'll come back with some cases, I promise.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002. 442-7002.
Okay, and that was John Barnes Electric. Yes,
Good
full
guy.
service. Yeah, I know. You have all the goods on him, don't you?
I do, but he's got them on me as well.
But John Barnes Electric is your full service electrical company. Anything you need electrical, you can call him as well, just like we were saying about Serpro. You can call John Barnes 24/7 if you have an emergency. Please do. He's been in business. How long's John been in business? A long time.
We both started doing electrical work in the early 1980s. But John has been in business for himself maybe 20, 25
yeah, long
years.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Long time. So anyway, so we will get started with our little cases this morning. We'll let you
Okay.
get started with the first one.
This first case is from April 6, 2021. Romaine Webb and Dexter O'Neill Miles. It is again from April 6, 2021. Weldon police officers were called to a duplex in the 400 block of Chestnut Street shortly after 1:30 a.m. for a reported shooting, and found Lavita Romaine Webb, 41 of Weldon, and Dexter O'Neill Miles, 52 of Garysburg, both dead from gunshot wounds. This shooting happened after a home invasion and robbery. A third person was also shot and was treated at the hospital. 1:30 in the morning, another home invasion, again in Weldon, April 6, 2021, left 2 people dead. Hopefully they were able to get some, decent information and tips from the lone survivor of this home invasion. But apparently it was probably very limited. Because you stop and think at 1:30 a.m. your door's kicked in. I mean, it probably takes you a moment to just kind of get your
Yes.
thoughts,
Absolutely.
together and realize what's unfolding, before you.
400 block of Chestnut Street in Weldon. If you know anything, please call the number that is on the screen. It'll be on the screen in a minute, hopefully. But anyway, please call the number. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. The next one, we don't have a lot.
Yeah, it's very limited. This case is from June 8th, 2021. Kwanji Gorham, who was 20 years old, was shot and killed on Raper Drive in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And that's pretty much the only information that we have. So anyone who has anything about this, or if you've heard anything about this, Rocky Mount Police Department would really appreciate that tip.
Yes, I think we did that one last week, didn't we? The next one is one on Bassett Street. And I think we did Bassett Street and Raper Drive, didn't we?
I don't.
Maybe not.
It wasn't pinned.
Okay. We'll go on with Ellis Stephen Phillips then. We have very limited information on that as well.
Let's see, Ellis Stephen Phillips, this case is from June 27th, 2021. He was killed in an assault at 211 East Bassett Street in Rocky Mount. Limited information, so if you know anything about that case as well, please reach out to Rocky Mount Police Department and share what rumor or tip or whatever you might have.
But it really don't matter how many times we talk about these, because we can't really get it out enough.
Yeah.
I mean, so if we talk about them twice or over, it doesn't matter, because
I do remember this one, as far as the stray bullet. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about Quashawn Gorham.
okay.
Quashawn Gorham. This one is from March 6, 2022. On March 6, 2022, at approximately 2:54 a.m., Rocky Mount Police Department responded to the 700 block of Westwood Drive in reference to a shooting with an injury. When they arrived, they found Quashawn Gorham, 30 years old, laying in the front of the residence, suffering from gunshot wounds. And he died on scene. Quashawn Gorham, March 6, 2022, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Not that long ago. I mean, only a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Westwood Drive is by Edwards High School, Edwards Junior High, on Hammond Street. It runs, it's right off of Hammond Street, and it goes through to Raleigh Road. So anyway, that's where Westwood Drive is. That was the location of the 700 block of the shooting. So anyway, 30 years old. I mean, that is young. I remember this case. I remember us covering this case of this young man laying in the yard on Westwood Drive. So if you know anything, please call the number 406-6736. Crime Stoppers 977-1111, or the Rocky Mount Police Department. You can reach out to them because it's a Rocky Mount PD case. So you can collect some cash too.
LaShawn Evans. This next case is from April 3rd, 2022. LaShawn Evans was killed while in her home during a drive-by shooting on Middle Street in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. No time given, limited information. So if you know anything about LaShawn Evans, April 3rd, 2022, please reach out to Rocky Mount Police Department, Crime Stoppers, text, tip, anything, any information that you might have With that case or any other case, it would be greatly appreciated. And you can get paid up to $15,000 for any information that you're able to share. Do we have a tentative schedule on, talking about something you said earlier, people were asking, how we get money, where we get money. Any plans on any fundraisers anytime soon?
We have not talked about a fundraiser. We need to get together and decide and plan a fundraiser. Absolutely. They've always gone very well. The public has always been very well received by the public. So always come out and help us because of the cause. So we need to get the plans going.
Yeah, in times past, it's usually like in spring, May.
Yes, and
first
we
weekend
did.
in May or
Yeah,
something
I
like
think
that.
we talked about a fall one this
Okay.
time. So we need to get on it. It's July. So I'm glad you brought that up.
This next case, Melito Armstrong. Melito Armstrong, it's from August the 7th, 2022. Melito Armstrong, who was 17, was attending a party on Lonesome Pine Road in Whitakers and was shot and killed. There were hundreds of people in attendance at the party, and no one was talking. No one
And
shared anything.
every time almost that Jeff Sherrod, Captain Sherrod comes, he talks about Melito Armstrong. He mentions that as being one of their cases that has not been solved. He says every time, somebody knows something. This is another one of those party. We've got like 4
There's
or
several,
5
yeah.
in this book that were parties, and at a party, somebody knows.
We figure hundreds of people means at least 200 people.
Absolutely.
Okay, and nobody is saying it. That has to really hurt the family.
Yes.
To know there were that many witnesses and everybody is tight-lipped. You can share your information anonymously.
Yes.
No one's going to know. So you can't say, well, I'm afraid
Yes.
of retribution. You can share your tip
Absolutely.
and get paid for it.
Well, one of our missions is to bring closure to families. Think about this family. I mean, their loved one went off, Melito Armstrong, went to a party and never came back. He never came back home. So think about this family that you could help if you know something. Melito Armstrong, if you were at the same party, Lonesome Pine Road in Whitakers, August of 22, we need your help. Law enforcement really needs your help with this case because, we need to do something about this. So, anyway.
It would be bad enough if there were no witnesses and you were just begging for a tip because no one witnessed it or maybe no one witnessed it.
Yes.
Here there's
people
200
know.
witnesses.
Do you want some cash? Don't you want cash? Cash in your hand within 2 days. And it doesn't go to court and all that. Don't even think, it's got to go to court for 2 years. I'll never get my money. Doesn't work that way. It's not upon conviction. It is upon arrest. So.
LaMichael Everett. LaMichael Everett. This case is from October 23rd, 22. On Sunday, October the 23rd, 2022, at around 3 a.m. in the morning, Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office responded to a call of a male subject that had been shot off of Tolbert Place in Princeville. When deputies arrived on scene, they found a male subject suffering from a gunshot wound. He passed away from his injuries. LaMichael Everett, October 23rd, 2022, 3 a.m. in the morning, off of Tolbert Place in Princeville.
I don't remember this case
I don't
before
remember-
at all.
I don't
know
either.
if we've ever done this one, but anyway, as you said, it's not too hard to know where it's at in Princeville because it's very small and Tolbert Place. So if you know anything, please give closure to this family and let's get this let's close the book on this investigation. That's what we like to do, is solve these crimes. So anyway, I guess it's time to go to break. We'll be right back right after this.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended, available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate, 442-7002, 442-7002.
K-Files this morning. We can do a couple more cases, I think, for you, so we'll move right along.
I think this next one is Tanija Cherry. This is the same date, October 23rd, 2022. On Sunday, October 23rd, 2022, Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office responded to shots fired on Fig Pen Road in Canida. When they arrived, they found that 2 people had been shot. Tanija Cherry had been killed as a result of the shooting.
Wow.
How far is
Not
Princeton?
far. I was just thinking, not far. It's the same day, same type thing. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's not, but Canida, no, it's not far from Princeville at all.
I would love to know if Tanija Cherry knew LaMichael Everett.
Right.
Or
That would be
if
interesting.
they had any, mutual friends, or what the common denominator between them two are.
Absolutely.
Find that odd.
Don't give the
Extremely
time.
Odd, no.
Doesn't give the time on this one. It gave the time as 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning. As we say, nothing good happens after midnight. So, anyway.
This next case, Sierra Webb, it is from November 13th, 2022. On November 13th, 2022, Halifax County Sheriff's Office responded to multiple shots fired at a bonfire party on Green Acres Road in Enfield. When they arrived, they found several people who had been injured from gunfire. Sierra Webb was shot and she was killed inside the party area. There were over 700
Here we
people
go.
in attendance, and no one is speaking about what they know.
Come on now, 700 people. This is unbelievable. Multiple shots fired at a bonfire party.
Beautiful young lady.
Yes, absolutely, in Enfield. Somebody please come forward on this. I know you know. It's recent, November of 22. Hasn't been but 2 years. Somebody knows something. It is anonymous. Somebody needs to come forward on this case. They really do, and give Sierra Webb's family some closure.
You know, it's got to be disheartening to be the law enforcement officer that responded that night. You see people shot. You see such a huge crowd of people.
Yes.
How disheartening it had to be to go to person, they're like, yeah, man, I ain't seen nothing. I
Yeah.
ain't seen nothing.
I don't,
I ain't
yeah,
seen
and
nothing.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because it says no one is speaking up. That is such a shame. On behalf of this girl, this beautiful girl, on behalf of her, somebody needs to come forward. And we will pay you cash. Cash in your hand. It's anonymous. It's anonymous. Cash in your hand within 48 hours is what you'll get.
And you know, if it was one of these other 700 people, if it was their loved one or their family member that had been shot and killed, they would be up front,
Yes.
beating their chest,
Yes.
crying on TV, asking, please come forward and share the information. Okay,
Think about it.
this is your community. Take ownership of your community. This is the only way you're going to make your community a safer place to live, work, and raise a family.
That's right.
Is to get involved and point the finger, blow the whistle.
Yes.
Say he did it. I mean, I would do it right in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if they've committed a crime and they've gotten by with it,
It's going to only embolden them.
they just keep on going. They just keep doing. They have, I would dare say, they have committed crimes since this case. So you need to help get this person or people off of the street. You really do. So anyway.
And it's behaviors like this, and I'm talking about on behalf of the witnesses. It's behaviors or inactions of witnesses that cause vigilante justice to come about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope somebody will come forward on all of the cases we've talked about today. And if there's a case that you know about that we have not talked about, you can certainly call us and say, we'd like for y'all to talk about this case. We'll do some research, talk to law enforcement, see what we can do. We don't have to confine ourselves to what's in this book. We really don't. These are just cases that we know about.
We'll come out and interview you, blur your face,
Yeah.
Distort your voice. I mean, look, share what you know with us.
Yes, absolutely. Please do. Okay, so I believe we'll get back into missing persons. We'll try to do that probably next week.
Okay.
And it leads off with the Linda Lawrence case, which I just wish could have been solved or would be solved. I really wish
right
that
over
case.
here, wasn't it?
Yes, right over there at the pool at Meadowbrook off of Gold Rock Road. Sure was. So we'll start with that case next week and go on with some of our missing persons. So we'll go back over, let's go back over our news tips a little bit and see. I see that we may have a new announcement about a candidate running after tonight. We'll see about that. And we'll go back over this breaking news. We put this out yesterday morning. Nash County Commissioner Wayne Outlaw has announced he will not seek re-election. So
I hate to see him go.
now how many's up next year?
Let's see, you got Robbie's up, Wayne's up, Gwen's up,
And one more, right?
Belfield.
Yeah, it's 4. And so we haven't heard from Commissioner Belfield as to whether he'll be seeking re-election. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we know that Quentin Sumner is stepping up to run for that position. We know that Jerry Barnes is running for District 7, which is the Robbie Davis seat, Jerry Barnes, and that is Red Oak Dorches area, Bimini. So we know those two. Gwen,
Gwen Wilkins.
I haven't heard much about that.
And
Do you know anything about that?
99.9% sure that she is going to have someone run against her, a Republican.
Okay, all right. So she'll have a Republican running against her, probably. So I tell you, the 26th election is going to be very interesting.
The whole dynamic of the Nash County Board of Commissioners is about to have a seismic shift within the next year and a half.
I think so. I think so. Now, Mayor Sandy Robertson, and I should have looked for this before, but he put out a statement, kind of a formal statement. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, saying, you know,
He
he's
wasn't
running
at the meeting.
for...
He wasn't at the meeting Tuesday night.
Oh, okay. And you're talking about the executive
The GOP
committee.
meeting. Yes, ma'am.
And don't forget that being sworn in on the 22nd at noon at the Ag Building at the Board of Elections is John Check. He will be sworn in as our new board chair, director of the Board of Elections in Nash County.
He was at our meeting. He attended our
Okay.
meeting Tuesday night and
Okay.
came in and give a brief introduction, a little bit of background, and it was the second time I had ever met him. He is a very pleasant person to talk to.
Yeah, John is very pleasant. Whenever he calls me, how are you? It's always pleasant. It's always, how are you doing? You know, that kind of thing.
And he's
So,
quick-witted. Very quick-witted.
John and his jokes. I mean, John has always been very quick on his feet.
Yeah.
People love his show because he jokes with the guest a lot. And John has a lot of stories to tell. He's well-traveled. You know, being a minister, you get moved from church to church to church, especially Methodists, sorry y'all. But anyway, Methodists move him around. So he's been moved and retired, and he's been asked many times over to step back into, by the Methodists, whoever, they'll call him, the state Methodist folks will call him and say, would you temporarily be the interim at this church and this church and this church? And he's at Horns Church right now. But anyway,
At Bailey.
at Wilson. It's right by
Horns
Silver
Church
Lake,
Road,
close
yeah.
to,
That's Southern Nash County.
well, I guess it would
Yeah.
be, yeah.
I will be daggone.
That's where he's at.
I did not know that.
Yeah, right close to Silver Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he is right now, and he's been there a while. They're keeping him. I don't think they're going to let him go.
I did not know
But
that.
anyway, we look forward to John, and his show will continue, but not with John. So I've got some people in place that will continue. It will continue as, instead of check it out with John Check, just check it out.
Check it out. Be sure to check it out.
It's no telling who you will see hosting the show. I've got 2 hosts of other shows that have stepped up and said, I want to do it. So they'll be trading off. A lot of us will be trading off because John had all of the, you know, if you ran for office, you could be on his show. So, and he just does great interviews. He really does. So, anyway, his show will continue on Monday nights at 7 o'clock and Tuesday nights at 8:30. He got a replay. All the other shows whine, you know, why does he get a replay? I said, well, it determines
He
on how
must
much
have a
I
good
hear.
viewership, yeah.
If I hear a lot, I do it. So, anyway,
Maybe maybe you'll have Laura Trump on Check It Out.
oh gosh.
Maybe she takes Tom Tillis' seat.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Tom Tillis' seat. Yes, absolutely.
Good riddance is all I have to say.
Yeah, that's what most people are saying. I'm telling you, it's sad, but it's true. So Sandy Robertson I won't read it all because it's long, but Sandy Robertson announces $2.26 million raised
Wow.
in the second quarter in Battleground, North Carolina, District 1 Congressional District. Rocky Mount Mayor Sandy Robertson, candidate for Congress in North Carolina's District 1, today announced the campaign raised $2.26 million in the second fundraising quarter, his first as a candidate in the 2026 cycle. This includes a $2 million loan from Robertson to his own campaign, fulfilling a commitment he made when he announced his candidacy, and over $260,000 from individual donors. The amount appears to be a record for this point in the cycle in the first district. So he set a record. That's what you get when you get a candidate that's got the money to do it.
And you know, I see him going to Washington, D.C.
I see
him
it.
winning.
I do see it. I see him
Because it's a
winning.
red district.
Yeah.
And he is very well liked locally on both sides of the political aisle.
Well, I've seen what he's running on. One of the things I've seen that he's put out already on Facebook as an ad type thing, that Don Davis did not go to Washington very often.
Yeah, because he does not want to vote against
Yeah.
Trump, and it come back to haunt
Yeah,
him
exactly.
in 2 years.
So That's one of his platforms, is to say, don't you want a man that's going to vote?
Yeah.
What do you put him up there for? I mean, why do we vote for them? To protect our interests, correct?
That's right.
And if they're not there to vote, how can they do that?
He's gaming the system.
It reminds me of Jean Farmer Butterfield. She had the worst record in attendance for,
Yeah.
you know, and she kept saying, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and I'm sorry about that. But then you need to let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
You need to let somebody else step up. Because you're there for a purpose, not to not attend or the sessions. I mean, you're supposed to be there. So anyway, I'll just read you, we got to go, we're late. But anyway, I'll read you one little statement. I'm honored by the incredible support from so many people in Eastern North Carolina and across the state who know the 1st District, well, I just lost it, but who knows the 1st District, deserves better representation in Congress. So there, there it goes. I'm grateful for their confidence in my campaign and their commitment to flip this must-win seat. For too long, we've been neglected by the far left in Washington. No more. That was his statement. So there you go. So $2.26 million raised by Sandy Robertson already to run for Congress. So we got to go. We're late. Thanks for watching, y'all. Make it a great day, everybody. Be careful out there when it rains.
The K-Files is brought to you by John Barnes Electric, your full-service electrical company, serving Rocky Mount and surrounding areas. Locally owned, locally recommended. Available 24/7. Call today for a free estimate. 442-7002. 442-7002.